Hello, my name is David and I live in Northern California and I love California. Hey, today I was going to talk about something that I heard on the news, and you guys probably heard it too. And it was about Trump saying that Canada could be our 51st state. And I thought, oh crap, here we go again, But the more I thought about it, the more I thought, I think it would be cool for us to have a stronger alliance, that we have very similar interests in a lot of ways, and our culture is similar, more so than other foreign countries, and we're so close to each other. And I know that when they were talking about the tariffs, and that got stopped right away, I think it was probably just a phone call, but they were saying at the time that 75% of the imports that come from Canada, or exports out of Canada, are coming to the United States. So in a way, you have a lot of different issues, and I wanted to talk about that, the possibility of Canada being the 51st state. Now, the first thing we have is the economic benefit. Like I mentioned, 75% of their exporting comes to the United States, and it's so close, it's just easy to truck it across the border. By having both of us combined, we would have a larger market, more market for them and more market for us, because we could trade maybe closer. We'd have resource sharing. I mean, obviously, they have a lot of lumber up there, I would imagine, and they have a lot of crops, big agriculture up there, which we do too. But I think that resource sharing, with oil that we have, and natural gas that we do have on the East Coast, and different types of oil, because it's not just oil. You have some that are lubricating oil and some that are going to be like gasoline. So they call that fractional distillation. I remember studying that in college. And when you heat up a cylinder of oil, this is just a really simple terms of doing it, different things come out at different areas. So imagine you had a big tube, and let's just say it was 20 foot tall, and you started heating it. At the very top, you would have natural gas or really light gas that's, a lot of times it's just burnt off. In fact, gasoline used to be a product that was burnt off. It was considered too volatile. They were looking for kerosene at the time, and that can be brought off oil. And then at the very bottom, or toward the bottom of it, you had more like lubricating oils that we use for bearing. Then you had grease. Then you even had creosote at the very, very bottom, which we use for putting around railroad ties, to help them last longer. But we have a lot of heavy oil, in California, and so it's used mostly for grease and stuff. It's not suited well for making it into gasoline, so we end up importing a lot of our oil just for gasoline. They call it light crude, and it does come from places like Saudi Arabia, but we do have a lot of oil ourselves, and I'm sure they have a lot of resources themselves too. So the great economic strength in terms of innovation of having the two countries combined would be really, really cool. I don't think they're going to take statehood, because they're just too big and too proud, definitely, to become a state. But maybe they could be a more closer alliance with us, because we have more in common. But the biggest reason I think it would be in their advantage is unified defense, defense for the country. I think that the United States is a lot stronger, in terms of aircraft carriers and different planes and things like that. But every time we do go to war and every time we need help, we call on Canada, and they always back us up. So if we were united, there'd be almost no country that wants to mess with us, as there is really no country wants to mess with the United States. When I first heard it, I thought it was an interesting comment, but I was thinking more like they're probably not going to do it unless we have a country name that could be their name maybe first. So maybe it would be Can-Am or Can America, for Canada. I think statehood is just not going to be what they want. We could have cultural exchange, blending of our political stability by having one. Now, the things that would make us so that we probably couldn't get together would probably have to do with our political system. They use a parliamentary system, I would say very similar to England, and we use a federal presidential system, with the two houses, and you got a president where they have a prime minister. So that would be hard to combine both of them. But if they could just keep doing what they're doing, and we're doing what we're doing, but we share more like an alliance, I think that would be really in both people's interests to have a stronger alliance between the two. I've been up to their cities, Vancouver up there, and just beautiful cities. People are super nice every time I've been up there, and they were super clean cities. I don't know how the crime is, or their drug issues and things like that. I know that they were actually inviting a lot of foreigners to come in and work there, and I think that's one of the reasons Trudeau is going to step down, is because he kind of invited 8 million people to come into the country and didn't really have places for them to stay. Similar to us, we have a lot of people that came in the United States, but the difference is, it gets brutally cold there. I mean, it can be like -30, so you can't be living outside of there. I think healthcare is a big pride of Canada. They have universal healthcare, but I have heard stories, I don't know how true they are, that because it is free, sometimes it's overused. And sometimes I've heard that Canadians will come down to the United States if they have something serious and they just can't get through their health system. And so, kind of similar to what they have in England, where there is a universal health system there, but there's also a public system there that you pay a little bit more and you can actually get seen a little quicker. So I think both countries have a lot of benefits there. Their national sovereignty, they want to make their own decisions, and their own decisions would probably be better because they're more in touch with what is going on. I am concerned that it's a lot more socialized than it is in the United States, because we do have people that come down here. Most of the ones that we know are movie stars, like Michael J. Fox and some of the guys that have come down here, and they become very wealthy, because the opportunities are different here. And then the last thing would be economic stability. I think that in the future, that's going to be really important, is how a country can plug into different other countries and then be able to work together. And they seem so close to us in terms of how their country is set up and how our country is set up, that I think that it could be workable. I don't think they're going to be a state. I don't think that even their ego would allow that to happen, because they have their own country. Why would they be a state? But if, for instance, China or Russia, they're flying a lot over their country, and they may try to squeeze in on some of the opportunities that they see in Canada, then if they were to get into a war with them, like Russia did with Ukraine, I know it's different circumstances, then I'm sure the Canadians would call on us to help out. And I don't know, with the president we have now, he doesn't seem to want to get involved with any wars, so that might be harder when we're really not connected. So I hope the talks and everything that they're having is going to be better for both countries, and we'll be able to have an understanding with them, and they have an understanding with us, and create an alliance instead of just having them join our country or we join their country. So those are my thoughts on it, and I thought about it a lot just because I heard it, and I thought, well, I really like Canada. I love the Canadian people, and I think that us going to visit them and them coming to visit us is just a very positive thing. The more we know about each other, the less fear you have, because we realize that we are different in a lot of ways, but we are similar in a lot of ways too. So that's my thoughts. Thank you very much for listening, and I appreciate your time.